Hey guys, welcome back to my virtual dog training playlist. We are on episode 17. I'm having so much fun doing these and sharing them with you, and this little Zoom session is pretty cool. We have a family that adopted a new dog, and we just go over some basic things they're going through in the first couple of weeks that the dog has been there, some basic training, some rules around the house, and things along those lines. Pretty cool segment, and you get to see the cute, adorable hound they adopted too. And don't forget, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and take a peek around my channel. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to my channel. Click that bell so you get notified when I upload new content as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so I think Tony wanted to set this up, but you guys just wanted, you had some general questions and stuff, right?
Right. So the first thing is, so we've had him now about 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And he totally was doing great with house training and everything else. So now he's starting to have a few accidents in the house. And when we catch him, we tell him no. We bring him outside, but it's always in the same room. So obviously we're cleaning that and the urine be gone and all that. I don't know if there's something else. And it's not at night, it's during the day. So it's like when we're all together as a family, he'll be like, oh, I'm going to go pee over here now.
How old is he?
About 2.
Okay.
I don't know if it's worth noting, but there's only 2 rooms upstairs with carpet, so he's peeing in the one room with carpet. A while back, we did have accidents with the other dogs in there.
Well, you watched it with us.
I know, but I don't know if we watched it enough where he couldn't pick up a scent.
Oh, he definitely picked up the scent.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with the obvious thing, obviously restrict access. The other thing is 2.5 weeks, it's still pretty early.
Yes.
Probably a little too early where he's unsupervised.
Oh, he's right literally with us. Like, I'll be petting him in the hallway, and then all of a sudden he'll just go in there and start peeing. So it's not even like he doesn't have access unsupervised. So if we're not up there, he's not up there.
Okay. All right, good. So, So what, you were in the hall and he ran in there to go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'd be like running from here to your microphone stand.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, not far at all.
Okay. All right, good. I know that's fine. How about crate training? Are you crate training him or?
We weren't. He sleeps in our room on a dog bed during the day. He's not alone during the day. My husband works from home, so he's never really alone.
Okay.
So, and we have 24-hour doggy door available for him, which he's picked up on going in and out of that like a champ. So he's constantly has 24 access to the yard.
Okay. So was there a specific time of day when he's having these accidents?
No.
So it's just random?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys are located up north, I guess, right?
Yes, we're in New Jersey.
Can you hear me okay, incidentally?
Yes.
Okay. And he came from the south, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello. So you might want to consider crate training. Okay. Even though you're home, he just might not have strong enough bladder to hold it in. On top of the fact, do you know his history at all?
Not really.
No. Okay. What the foster mom had told us was that he's probably locked outside a lot. And when we first got him, he wanted to be outside all the time, but now he just wants to be wherever we are. Right.
And that's a good thing that the bonding has taken place. A lot of dogs from the south, the southern hounds especially, they never stepped foot inside of a home.
Right.
So they just don't understand it. Now, this room that he went to the bathroom in, is it a family room or is it?
No, it's my office.
Okay.
So it's not even a room we're in a lot.
Okay, that makes sense then. So because dogs, why crate training works is because dogs are less likely to pee and poop where they eat and sleep.
Right.
So he's purposely getting somewhere where is not part of his den to eliminate. And the scent may have something to do with it. That certainly could contribute to him being attracted to that particular room. But crate training, number one, he is a young dog. And again, he may not have the strength to hold it in. Right. And he probably lived his whole life that when you got to go, you go, right? So crate training helps strengthen his bladder. So has it been pooping too, or is it just pee?
No, just pee.
Okay, all right.
So 0 poop accidents.
Okay, so it could just be a bladder strength issue where starting to introduce him to a crate and giving him, a few hours in the crate every day, especially when you're home. Because when you're gone and if you can't, if you leave him home alone, I mean, you don't know what he's going to do. He might pee, he might poop, he might eat a couch. Uh, you don't know.
He's been alone for one whole day, and he did great. Like, because he just went outside.
Okay. Oh, he was outside. Oh, you were gone.
The doggy door.
He chose to go out in the yard and then just for his first several days.
No, we went to the farm. He went outside.
Right, but he would go outside, and he had like a little spot behind a shed where he just kind of laid, or we have a pool deck, and it's kind of on three sides it's fenced in, and he was going under there. So, I'm guessing he just felt comfortable being outside on his own.
Right.
And then in the last week or so, last week to 10 days, he's totally like cool with coming inside now. I think he needed to maybe adjust.
Right. And that day that he was left alone, I'm guessing he did not have access to the room.
Correct. Because at that point, when we're not home, he can't get upstairs.
Okay, beautiful, good. And has he ever had an accident downstairs?
One. Yes. In the playroom, and like we caught him doing it, so we told him no, brought him outside.
Good.
He did it like a day or two later again.
No, the first time I didn't catch him. Okay. So he had two accidents in the playroom that we caught. And then and that was before we actually had the doggy door.
Might have been.
So once we got the new doggy doors, we had beagles, so they were slightly smaller than him. But once we got the doggy door, other than upstairs, we haven't had accidents downstairs where we live.
Okay, so with the exception of the two in the family room.
Right. Well, that was prior to the doggy door, but since getting the new door.
Right. Okay. And then how many accidents did he have upstairs?
5.
That many? I thought it was like 3.
Well, there's 5 spots. He just had one.
Okay, so it's safe to say that he's 50% housebroken. If he's with you 2.5 weeks.
A little more than
I
that.
would say a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's had ample opportunity to pee many more times in the house than he has not.
Right. Well, most times it's when they're more active, or and again, I don't know if he's nervous or anything, but clearly when you left him alone, he was outside, it wasn't an issue. But a lot of times it's related to activity, playing in the house, or if you're going up and down, or when we do chores, sometimes our dogs follow us around. That activity alone could initiate him needing to urinate. So, just quick things, obviously restrict access, which you're already doing. I strongly consider crate training. Where in New Jersey do you live?
Barnegat.
Okay. So, thousands of dogs are stolen out of their yards every year in New Jersey. Okay. I can't speak for other people. I just recommend when I'm giving advice that dogs shouldn't be left outside unsupervised when you're not home.
Our yard is locked, but when we're at home, we leave him in the house. He just can go outside and go potty and come back in. He's usually in the house. We also have cameras, and we see he'll just go outside potty and then come back in.
No,
you said you left the house and you left him.
No.
He had access to the outside. He chose to stay outside.
So when we're not home, see, we have here. I'll show you. The doggy door here.
Right.
So he has 24-hour access.
Right.
So the day we left him by himself for like 5 hours, we left him in the house with the ability to go outside and go pee and come back in.
Right. I understand that.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you that thousands of dogs are stolen out of their yards every year. That is unsafe, and it's just not safe for him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey, and I've been in rescue a long time.
Right.
We don't, it's one of those things until it happens to me.
Right.
So it's just a cautionary. That's all. I mean, it's not like it happens every day, or maybe it does. I don't know. I've been around enough to know that some really crappy people actually do this for a living for some really bad purposes. So, yeah, especially if he's sweet. They don't want aggressive dogs. They want sweet dogs because it makes their job easier in stealing them. So, and cameras are great because, God forbid something happened, you have that, but that doesn't prevent the actual activity. So just a word of caution. That's all.
Yep.
So yeah, so the crate training, do you have a crate or you don't even have a crate?
No, we didn't have a crate.
Okay, all right.
We can get one.
Okay, yeah, either that or you just got to stay on top of him and minimize physical activity in the house.
Okay.
You know, kind of separate the interior of the home for more of a calm place and outside is for play. I'm not saying that's going to help strengthen his bladder, but again, increased activity will increase his need to urinate.
Okay.
So, and then if you decide to move forward with crate training, you can just send me a quick message. I have a couple of videos on how to introduce the crate, how to crate train, but you guys have had dogs already, so you probably have done that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but if you need any help with that, that's totally fine.
Okay.
So other than his accidents, what else is going on?
Setting up basic commands for him. So we haven't really had to train a dog that's bigger than a beagle. So obviously he's a little bit stronger, and we don't want to hurt his. Like, we don't want to break him, but like, you know, getting him to start listening to certain commands. Like, what would be the best steps to start doing that? Like, sit, stay.
Yeah, food, obviously. Positive reinforcement is the best way to teach dogs new behaviors. It's you know, it's a good way to increase reliability of behaviors they've already been exposed to. Does he have some obedience at all, or?
Minimal.
Yeah.
Okay, what commands? Come and
Go
sit.
to your window, so that way he has learned to go to his window when we're in the front room.
Okay.
And there's a bench for him to sit on, so he doesn't run out the door.
Okay, gotcha.
We were
What
told
about?
he's a bolter.
What's that?
They told us he has a tendency. He
He's
has
a
a tendency
runner.
to bolt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Be
Okay.
careful with the front door.
Right. And what about does he come to you when you call him?
Yes.
He's pretty good with that.
Because you know why? He hasn't left our side since we've started this. He always wants to be pet. So if you just say Rufus, he'll come to you because he's like, oh, you're going to pet me.
Good. Okay. And how about sit? Does he sit pretty reliably?
Not at all.
Okay. So he doesn't know sit at all.
No.
Okay.
Nor stay.
Doesn't know sit, doesn't know stay.
Okay. So obviously stay is going to be tough, especially if now he has a little separation anxiety with you guys where he doesn't want to be too far from you. But obviously teaching him sit and down to start off with might be a good idea. Hold on, let me take my headphones off. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. So when we're teaching sit, our objective is if he's standing, we want to take a treat and we want to slowly go above his head.
Okay.
But not too far because he's going to, is he food motivated?
Yes.
Okay. So basically we're going to hold almost where, just out of reach of his nose until his ass plops into a sit.
Okay.
Now, obviously you might have to kind of hold it and kind of tease him with it a little bit as you're bringing it over his head. So if Deuce is standing up, I'm going to let him nibble and then I would go over his head until he pops into a sit. You see that?
Yep.
So now obviously he knows sit. I'm just trying to show for illustrative purposes. Come on. So I'm actually letting him nibble. Now I'm going to go over his head. And then as soon as his ass hits the floor, I give him the treat.
Okay.
So that's kind of how we want to teach the sit command. And what you want to, when you start doing that, you're basically shaping the behavior. So you don't even want to use the word sit. Just start shaping the behavior with the food, you know, maybe 10, 20 repetitions, then start saying sit as you're luring him.
Okay.
And then what's going to happen is he's going to get used to the repetition of this. And as soon as that, get off, as soon as that treat comes up, he's going to plop into a sit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So with the down, it's pretty similar. He's going to be in a sit already. We're going to take the treat right by his nose. We're going to go perpendicular to the floor so his nose follows. And as soon as he hits the floor, we're going to slowly slide out to slide him in a down. The best place to do this is hardwood floors or tile.
Okay.
Because sometimes we get lucky and his ass just slides out from him. As long as we capture that down position and we give the reward the same way as the sit. So, and again, Deuce knows this, but if I lure him into a sit and then I go straight to the floor and I'm going to hold it here.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't even say anything. He just knows verbal, but. And then what happens is as he gets really good at this, we're gonna do sits and downs in succession, and they kind of call them puppy push-ups. And the same thing with down. You don't even use the word yet. You just shape the behavior first, then start using the word. And
Okay.
as he gets good at this, then we're gonna do puppy push-ups. So down, good boy, sit. Oh, he rolled over. Sit, sit. Good boy, down, good boy, sit, good boy, down, good boy, sit, good boy. So that's puppy push-ups.
Okay.
So that's kind of the progression. And if you teach him to roll over, that's all he'll do. Good boy, I'm so proud of you. Yes. Look at it. So you want to do that every day, and you know I would say honestly, if he's smart, you know, a couple of days is all it's going to take. And if both of you did 3 sessions every day with him for like a minute or two,
Okay.
scattered throughout the day, literally 6 minutes each, scattered throughout the day in 3 sessions, couple of days, he's going to start anticipating and he's going to start getting the hang of it. The hardest part is when you first start doing it, because people have a tendency to, here, I'll show you. They pull the treat away. And when we're food luring, right, the food is doing the work for us.
Right.
The dog is following the food.
Mhm.
So, sit. So I'm going to hold it up here. At some point, he's going to try and jump up and get this because that's where the food is, although he loves
Right.
sitting up. So at some point, he's going for the food, right? That just means that it was too far away, right? So the same thing, like with the down, if I go like this instead of perpendicular to the floor, he's going to follow the treat. His ass is going to pop up.
Right.
That's why we go straight down with, so that nose follows. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, repetition again on a daily basis. The both of you doing a couple of mini sessions throughout the day, he'll get the hang of it.
Okay.
Once you start capturing these behaviors, you want to start using, especially sit. You want to start using that to make him earn some of his resources, like food, affection, furniture. Going out, you know, obviously he owns that access. You don't, so because you have the doggy door, which is fine. I mean, he, you know, he's a lovely dog, so it's not like you're gonna have any like quote unquote dominance issues. But
yeah, not at all. He's not food dominant at all.
Yeah, from the standpoint of him earning food, earning affection. You know, and again, you have the window. I mean, for him to go by the window, that's a place command. You already taught him that, right? So that I mean, that's oftentimes a difficult command for people to navigate, and you guys got that already. So the sit is going to be tough. Is he an excitable dog?
He has his moments like any other dog, but overall, I would say he's a relatively calm dog.
Okay, so if he's not overly excitable, you shouldn't have a hard time getting him to sit.
I wouldn't say he is. When he gets jacked up, he'll just run around like crazy.
Right. And does he have good bite inhibition? In other words, does he take treats gently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
In fact, my 5-year-old and 6-year-old can feed him without being nervous. He takes it well.
Okay, perfect. So when you're first shaping that sit, let him nibble. You want to feel his teeth, but you want to pinch that treat. You don't want to give it to him, but you want to keep his interest. And then once that ass hits the floor, then you release the treat into his mouth and verbal praise, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
So with, you know, and come, obviously, you can add that into your mini sessions. Even if you just did it, you're in the kitchen now, whatever, you could do a session in the kitchen. Come, good boy, sit, good boy, down, good boy. Now, obviously, this is after you shape the behavior.
Right.
The important thing is you always want to use verbal praise after every command.
Okay.
Not just treats, because we want him, right now we're using food to teach him, but at some point we want the verbal praise and physical affection to be his reward, right? The treats is going to get us there to help teach him the behaviors that we want. And then anytime you do obedience, whether it's sit, down, come, whatever you're doing inside the home, you have to carry outside, and you have to do those exercises outside in distraction.
Okay.
Because the reliability rate you get inside is going to differ greatly from outside where there's a bunch of distractions.
Right, right.
So, so the general progression is, inside you get reliability, 100% reliability. Then you go in the backyard and you may have to leash him to do a mini training session, because choosing to do something else might be better than the treat for him. So keeping him on leash gets him in, again, the repetition of him responding to you and the reward that follows.
Okay.
And then the progression to that would be the front yard, and then down the block, and then Home Depot or the pet store. Like, the more places you work him in, the more reliable he will be in these places.
Okay.
And that creates a reliable dog overall.
Okay.
So, make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And if you want to take some video teaching him sit or wherever, if you're having some challenges with him, you can just take some quick video and you can send it to me through Facebook.
Okay.
I could take a peek and see if there's anything going on, but it's not that hard. Like I said, once you get the first few, and then you get to that 15, 20 mark as far as repetition goes, they really start getting it.
Okay.
So, okay. Anything else?
Yeah, well, the other thing is just, and probably goes hand in hand what we've been talking about, wanting him to, when we're in the kitchen, to be away from the food area, or when we sit at the table, are we just using the same commands to get him to like we probably prefer if he just goes to his bed or away out of the kitchen and not be sniffing around, because he has taken stuff off countertops already. And he's pretty tall, so there's really nowhere we could keep it out of his range on some of these countertops because he can reach it.
Any idea what I'm about to say?
Lock him out.
Great.
Great.
And the thing is we don't know what his history is inside a home, if there is even a history inside of a home. And, why do dogs beg? Sometimes it's the human's fault, right? Because humans are given food, but sometimes it just smells really good. So now teaching that place command, which, go to the windowsill or whatever, that's something that could certainly be your goal, but you actually need to set time aside to say, you know what, I'm going to prepare food. I'm going to sit down, but I'm not going to eat. The whole purpose of this is to work him.
Right.
So if you're going to do that, then you'll accomplish it quicker. But I don't know about you. When I'm hungry, I got to eat.
Yeah.
I don't want to train a dog when I'm hungry.
Because honestly, when we're sitting down to finally eat, it's like, it's his time to eat. Like, I don't have 15, 20 minutes to here, keep walking you back to your bed to stay. I don't have that right now.
Right. And that's why crate management comes in handy. And if we introduce the crate properly, it becomes a really good place for him. A lot of positives surrounding that. And, it's not like you would, if you do decide to crate train him, it's not like you're going to sit down to eat and put him in the crate. How I recommend people do it is, if you're going to be eating in 45 minutes, put him in the crate now, right? Because just for the next 45 minutes, you're going to be doing your normal thing, right? You're not going to be sitting down at the table. So he's not associating the crate with being separated from you and food. It's just, again, part of his routine. So, and it's not like you left him out and he started begging or jumped on the table and you grabbed him and dragged him and put him in the crate, right? That's not how we want to use the crate. But, putting him in there, or if you had like a gate or something, a gate helps. Ideally, the crate is out of sight. He's going to hear and he's going to smell, but the visual stimulation could cause him to bark a little bit. I don't know if he's a barker or not. It's still early.
I haven't heard him bark yet.
Yeah, and he may not, but it is only 2.5 weeks, so time will tell.
Well, the other person who had him, of course, is like, yeah, I never heard him bark either.
Good, beautiful. You don't want a barking dog.
Well, I'd like to hear what it sounds like at least once.
Yeah.
Like, do you even have a bark?
Yeah, so again, restricting access to whatever the trigger is, whether it's obviously peeing in the room or begging at the table. So
the crate shouldn't even be, not right now where we have them set up, it goes our kitchen to the eating area to our living room. And it's in that whole open floor concept thing. So his bed is in a corner that he picked.
Okay.
It's almost like den-like. It's surrounded. He goes into his bed. So you're saying keep the crate completely out of the food area.
Well, if that's does he like it there?
He picked it.
I would put the crate right there then. Because if there's enough room for a bed, there's enough room for a crate.
Correct. It would be.
And remember, I mean, it's going to be the same thing for him throughout the day, right? You leave the door open, he might go in on his own.
Right.
Right. And again, if you decide to move forward with the crate, just hit me, and I'll actually send you the video anyway, because it'll give you step-by-step process. It's actually, it was a Facebook Live event I did, but I cover pretty much everything that could crop up with crate training, including not setting the crate up in the presence of the dog, especially if it's a metal crate, because sometimes they bang and they clank.
Yep.
And it could freak the dog out. So we want to make sure we set the crate up when he's not in the presence of the crate, and things like that. So I'll make sure I send that video to you guys as well. All right. So the housebreaking, obedience, reliability. How is he with is that your daughter?
Yeah, he's great with the kids.
Okay, so
Absolutely awesome.
yeah, so you can get them involved in those mini training sessions. Now, obviously, he's going to look to you and your wife for. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Chris.
Sorry, Chris. Okay. Yeah. So you and Nikki can, obviously you can give the commands and have your children give the food as the reward. This way they're, because we can't expect them to be leader-like and authoritative, right? But they can be providers of resources, which gets them involved in training. And one thing I love to do with families, like when I do private training, especially with this families and kids, once Rufus starts getting his commands down, I like to play monkey in the middle. So in other words, let's say just, you two, you both were working Rufus, have one of you stand on one side of the room, the other stand on the other. Rufus, come. Good boy, sit. Good boy, down. Good boy. Rufus, come. Sit, and just go back and forth, calling him to you, giving him commands back and forth. And like the kids like doing that, and whether you call it monkey in the middle, a round robin, whatever you want to call it. But it's a quick little game that the kids can get involved in. That they generally like that. One thing, especially for hounds, I like training games. So to help let them use their scent, and it actually helps stimulate their mind a little bit. He's a chill dog, but it's a good game for hounds where I'll take like solid solo cups and I'll put them in like a circle, maybe like 8 cups. Initially, I'll put a treat under every single cup. And at first, I'll knock over a cup so he knows there's a treat under it, right? And I might assign a word to it, find it or get it, something. Knock over the cup, he gets it. I do the next one. And then I kind of go around, and then I try to let him knock over his first cup on his own without me helping him. And the first time he does it, it's got to be the best thing since sliced bread. Like, oh my God, good boy, I'm so proud of you. Like you make the biggest deal of it, so he knows knocking over this cup is good. And then what happens is you go from a treat under all 8 cups to a treat under every other cup. And then maybe just a couple of cups, and then make him find it. And then he starts sniffing, and you'd be surprised, especially with hounds, they only knock the cups over that the treats are under.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but that stimulates their mind.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's a fun game to, it's a good goal to shoot for. So, anything else?
So, his other thing is he likes to hug. So when you sit down, and it's actually quite adorable, but when you sit down, he usually, right now, he's like, oh, computer, it smells good. But he'll come up and like, it's this all the time, literally all the time. And he does this on the couch too. So on the couch, it turns into, and he's not up on the couch because he's so big, but this is what he does when we sit on the couch. So he's a lap dog. This is what see how he's starting to handle nudge under, and I love it. But at some point, we just need it like to be off.
So right now, 2.5 weeks in, you are shaping his environment.
Right.
So if this has been rewarded for the past 2.5 weeks, you guys need to make a decision for now. Is this acceptable or isn't acceptable?
Right. Well,
Just
we've
for
been
now.
telling him the last couple of days, like we'll put him down on the ground like this and say off on the couch, and we just and we won't pet him. So if he does this on the couch, there's no petting. It's off, 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 and we're helping putting him down.
Okay.
When he goes down, then we pet him like, good boy, you're on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good way to teach the off.
Okay.
but remember, 2.5 weeks in, you have a behavior that you want to change right now, right?
Yes.
Or at least control is probably
Right.
a better word, right? Because you enjoy his company.
Yes.
He's allowed on the couch.
No.
No furniture.
He's too big, so we're not letting him on the couch because he takes up.
Oh, I thought you said he hugs you on the couch.
Yeah, well, he'll jump up on us, and that's what we want to stop is him jumping up on the
The closer you
couch.
get to his level, the more likely he's going to want to.
Okay, so the first time that happened, what was your reaction?
We probably pet him. We probably pet him.
I know you did.
That was the first night he came. All of a sudden, he just jumped right up. The second he came to us, he was instantly literally on us.
And we're suckers for rescues. We feel so bad because, we know they didn't have a good past. So, it's okay, right? Yeah, just keep at it. But off you need to mean it, right? Because now the rules have changed. Right? Because something that was acceptable and, day 1 or 2, probably very reassuring for him and comforting.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that probably helped him decompress into your environment a little bit, but it also conditioned the behavior.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So, but now you're 2.5 weeks in, your relationship is starting to solidify. Now we can be a little more stern with our direction. So he understands. Off. Good boy.
Right.
Right. As soon as all 4 paws hit the ground, praise. But that off, you have to mean it.
Okay.
Just if, let's say he was chewing on an electric wire, would you tell him no bite, or would you freak the hell out and be like, stop? Right? Because you'd be scared for him, right?
Yes.
We don't want to shout or overreact, but we want that energy to come across like this is not acceptable anymore.
Right. Okay.
Right. And again, because it's better that you don't want him on furniture. It's harder when furniture's okay for people sometimes, but not other times.
Right.
And I'm like, for now, let's just go black and white, no gray areas.
Right. It's a demarcation line. It is a no. It's a hard no. On any furniture with the exception of the window so he can look out the window.
Right.
That furniture is unlike any other furniture in the house, so it's different.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, and you have kids too, and as friendly as he is, I mean, kids can get scratched, they can get hurt, even if it's a good-natured dog, accidents happen. So, I'm with you. It's best to keep them off. So just, again, make sure it's just not acceptable. And, you gotta keep yourself in check, because I know sometimes if we're not, maybe we're not having a good day, sometimes we can get a little mushy too. And, they get away with stuff and we might pet him accidentally, or when they jump up, we might catch it, we might pet off, right? But we rewarded before we gave the correction. Right. So it's tough. And we're creatures of habit just like they are. So we have to kind of make sure that, for now, and, who knows, 6 months from now, it might be something where, he has a bed on one end of a couch or something where he's allowed. But for now, let's, keep things on lockdown. So.
Good.
Yep.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, pretty much covered. I mean, he's for all things considered, he's very well behaved. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a well-tempered dog, everything else is easy. When their temperament is off and you got to work through some weird stuff, that could be a little challenging. You just need some basic reliability. And it's just, I tell all my clients, I tell all my students the same thing. Repetition creates reliability.
Right.
Now that works both ways. Whatever they consistently engage in, that behavior will perpetuate.
Right.
And think about it this way. Everything he does for a reason, right? He engages in a behavior because it's successful, right? Dogs perpetuate successful behaviors. They abandon unsuccessful behaviors. The success of a behavior is defined by him, not us, right? Jumping on a table with his food is successful to him, not successful for us, right? So sometimes managing the environment and restricting access to previously repetitive behaviors is our recourse until we get to the point where training and reliability and his response to us gets better.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. And anything else that pops up, we're on Messenger, so you can Facebook message me. If you have any walking or anything or any videos, if you're taking a video vertically, and it's just, you know, you could take a video vertically if it's just him in the frame. Just make sure I could see his whole body from head to tail.
Okay.
If you guys are going to be walking with him or something and you want to send me a walking video, let's say one of you is walking and the other is filming, hold the phone sideways so I can get the handler and him in the whole frame.
Okay.
Because sometimes I need to see the tail too, to see the position of the tail. Let's say you walked somewhere or you went to a store and you said he freaked out a little bit. The tail is going to help me decipher what he was going through. So.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we have noticed the tail went from being tucked under to being full mast now at home.
Good.
So that he's getting obviously comfortable to have the tail up and wagging and yeah.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah. For the first 10 days, it was tight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that he relaxed that quickly. Some dogs it takes a couple of months.
I think just it's his temperament.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, and he, like everybody was saying, because I spoke to the foster mom, and she's like, he's just a good dog. You know,
Awesome.
and the vet said that too in the notes, just an even-tempered dog. So we got really lucky.
Awesome. Yeah, you'll be fine. Everything else will fall into place. So. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem. It was nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
All right, I'll see you guys soon.